Okay, guys, what's up? We're on page 59 of Antiquity Unveiled, and we're going to do the spirit testimony of Pope Gregory VII. And that's the guy that, by whose order, the library of the Palatine Apollo was destroyed in the 11th century. So here's his spirit testimony, forced as it may be. Good day. I come here by force, as the preceding speaker (the spirit of Plotinus) told you, and what is worse, I am forced to tell you exactly what I did. When here in mortal form, when living on earth, I was known as Pope Gregory, and what I am here for today is to own the destruction of the library of the Palatine Apollo, and that's Palatine Apollo, which contained the whole of the writings of the school of Alexandria from the days of Potamon to the days of one Maximus. And what was my excuse for its destruction? Religious bigotry. I made the excuse for it that I did not want the clergy to have their minds diverted from their holy work by studying heathen literature. But the real cause of my action in the matter was worse, that there were recorded in that library all the facts that would prove that no such person as Jesus of Nazareth ever existed, and therefore, feeling the weakness and insecurity of my position, I did all I could to strengthen it by letting as few as possible know the real contents of that library were. I am here also to state that there is a power, a band of spirits, now occupying a position that enables them, when they want a man to return here and atone for the wrongs he has done during his mortal life, to force him to come back and to communicate the truth. By the force of truth itself, he is compelled to come back and acknowledge his wrongs. It is the same with spirits as with mortals. They love power and hate opposition as much as they did here. That is all I have to say. Okay, we're going to go to Chambers Encyclopedia for a sketch of Pope Gregory. When I was told by this spirit, through the lips of the medium, that he had destroyed the library of the Palatine Apollo, which contained the whole of the writings of Alexandrian (or Neoplatonic) school, from the days of Potamon to the days of one Maximus, in other words, from the early part of the first to the middle of the 4th century, I wondered whether it could be true, for it seemed to me that no man possessed of the learning which such a library was said to contain could have been so lost to every sense of moral principle as to be guilty of such a cruel, heartless destruction of invaluable literature. When I came to seek for light upon this point, I was surprised to find that there was no historical reference to the fact that the Palatine Apollo library, and indeed no historical reference in many sources to the works of such a library, subsequent to the reign of Julian the Apostate (so called by the Christians) in the 4th century. I found references to the fact that the Emperor Augustus had erected a temple to Apollo on the Palatine Hill in Rome, and founded a library in connection with it. This temple was burned in the reign of the Emperor Julian, on the same night that the temple of the Apollo at Daphne, near Antioch, was burned. It was further stated that it was with the greatest difficulty that the Cymbeline books were saved. Whether the library shared the fate of the temple was not stated. I infer, however, that it is not burned at that time, but existed until it was destroyed by the order of Pope Gregory. It seemed to be a disputed question among writers as to whether Gregory I or Gregory VII ordered the destruction of the library at the Palatine Apollo. It is well known, however, that this library was wholly or partially destroyed several times. It is possible, in fact probable, that both of these popes caused its destruction in the time of their various reigns, and this may be the solution of the much discussed question, which arises from the fact that John of Salisbury is the only authority for the statement that the Palatine Apollo library was destroyed by the order of Gregory, and cites his proclamation to the effect efficient in his works, the Polycraticus, Policraticus, who is John of Salisbury, a historian who is the private secretary of the Archbishop of Canterbury, and through him ambassador to the Papal See, which very fact gave him opportunities to obtain knowledge, the nature of which is to be carelessly estimated in the considering his works, which even today are regarded as invaluable. Men think Gregory I and Gregory VII, whose whole lives were given to perpetuating the power of their church, would certainly not stop at burning at the burning of a library to accomplish their object. Therefore, whether Gregory I or Gregory VII caused the destruction of this valuable library in question, the facts which come down to us show that it was destroyed in the interests of the so-called Christian Church. And that's from the compiler. So that's going to do it for Pope Gregory, and that was Pope Gregory VII, and that was pages 59 and 60.